Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, family. We are blessed to be back with you all for another week, family.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise Yahuwah, family, that he let us all come here to fellowship together, family. Hallelujah.
Yes.
What a
Praise
blessing.
Yah.
What a blessing, family.
Yes, indeed.
And, we're going to be in for a good lesson today, family. So this is another one. Grab your pen, grab your notes, take notes, because it's going to get really deep, family. We are talking about he gave you seed, where is the harvest? And we just kind of want to touch on too, because last week was a tough message. We said it at the beginning of that message that those type of messages, those are the kind of messages we don't like to give, but they are needed, because we wouldn't be answering to the Holy Spirit, right? What is putting on our heart to speak, right? But we're just so excited that so many brothers and sisters receive it. They self-reflected.
Absolutely. So we've gotten messages from brothers and sisters, who self-reflected, and like we continue to say, who's continuing to let Yah do his work in them,
right,
through Yahushua HaMashiach. And so, as we often say, like, we are very proud of our brothers and sisters. We're proud of you all, because this is something that we said it before in the past, that we do with intentionality.
Yes.
Our goal is always to draw you closer to Yah and through his son Yahushua. And so anytime we see that, it really fills our hearts with joy, and it gives Brother Rasha and I encouragement to continue. So, we really proud of you all, and just encourage you to continue to keep going in the walk, because these messages is not to condemn. It's always to help each other, all of us, to grow, right? Because we said it before, and we're going to say it again, that the messages first, we let it speak to us in our house before we bring it to you all.
Yes.
Believe it or not, we let it speak first to us
before
we bring it to you all. So the word doesn't just cut you all.
Right.
As at times it's cutting us too, right?
Yes.
It's cutting our house too.
Yes. And
so just know that our goal is always for us to grow together in the knowledge of Yahuwah through his son Yahushua, right?
Yes.
As we wait, we journey this out, and we wait for Mashiach's return.
Right, like what we said last week, right, family, that we all could be counted as those 5 wise virgins, right?
Right.
We want to be wise, family. We want to do the best of our ability to get this right, right, family?
Right.
Walk this walk right, family.
Absolutely.
Doing it the right way, family.
Right. And not because we're trying to earn our salvation, but just because of who our Father is, right? And who our Mashiach is, right? And he said, if we believe in him, we ought to take up our stake and follow him, right?
Yes.
So that means modeling his walk, what he did, right? He was obedient to his Father. So that's what we are to desire to do if we truly believe, right? Listen to his words.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed, family. So today we're talking about he gave you seed, where is the harvest? Brother Rasha, what seed you talking about? What seed are you talking about, Brother Rasha? You talking about like those prosperity preachers? Sow a seed and you're going to get $10,000? We're not talking about that seed, family. Yahushua defined what that seed is. But first I want to ask you all, what's that seed?
Yes.
Y'all drop it in the chat, family. What's the seed?
What do you think this is referring to?
What does the seed mean, family?
And then according to Yahushua, if you guys could remember, we talked about the seed.
Absolutely. Well, going to Yahushua, this is what he said, what the seed means, family. Going back to the parable of the sower, right? When he was explaining it to his disciples. Luke chapter 8, verse 11, it says, now the parable is this. He said the seed is the word of Yah. The seed is the word of Yah, family. That's deep.
That's deep. The word of Yah.
Yes.
Right there in the word, letting us know what it means, straight from our Mashiach.
So we talking about too. We got the seed right now? We got the word. So where's the harvest? Brother Rasha, what harvest you talking about? Well, let's define that. You want to read the Greek definition for me?
Yes, this is Greek 23:25. This is therismos.
It's 23:26.
What I said?
At the top, right?
Oh, is this one, not this one? Okay, so 23:26, y'all, and it's therismos, and it says harvest the act of reaping, figuratively, of the gathering of men.
Y'all listen to this, family.
Into the kingdom of Elohim.
Wow, read that again.
It says, of the gathering of men into the kingdom of Elohim. Now this right here, you all, is the one we're talking about. Of course, they talk about another harvest, but we're talking about this particular harvest.
Right.
You know, harvesting could also mean with the with produce and stuff like that. But this is the one.
Right. This is the context we're speaking of.
Right.
So this is what we're talking about, family.
Well, I'm going to. Do you think we should read this one too?
You can read it.
We could read. We could just read the other one too. You all.
There's another definition, another use for it too.
Right. It says referring to time of reaping. 'Cause that's important too. It's kind of like we're talking about time of reaping.
Right.
The final judgment, when the righteous are gathered into the kingdom of Yah, and the wicked are cast into hell forever. But again, we talking about the one when it says gathering of men into the kingdom of Yah.
Absolutely. So, like I was saying, family, many of us as believers, right, we received the word. We received the truth. Many of us came kicking and fighting and screaming, but eventually we received the truth, right? And we still receiving it, right? We love the word. We receiving the word. We study. We listen, right? Take notes, all these things, right? Learn all the different doctrines. All these things, right? We are receiving that seed. We're receiving the word. But did Yah intend for it to stop with us? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Did he intend for it to stop with us? Brother Rashad, you mean I'm supposed to do something with this word? Well, we're going to read the scriptures. Because you think about a seed, right? What good is a seed, family, if you just keeping it in storage? Y'all answer that question. What good is a seed if it's just staying in storage and you don't plant it in the ground?
Right.
It's gonna be useless, right, family?
Right.
The seed is made for scattering, family. I think about it. We always talk about what Sister Abiel's her favorite plant, the okra. You plant what? How many, like, when you plant the okra? You plant like 1, 3 seeds?
Well, it's 3, and, you know, I put 3 of them in one spot, but usually you put in 3 because just in case one don't produce, then out of the 3, at least one of them is going to produce. Right. But I mean, you dropping that in each hole, but it's only a certain amount that you drop in these holes, right? And you water it. I mean, you cover up the holes and you water it, right? And you continue to water it until you start seeing it grow. But the thing is, you do that one time.
Yes.
For that season, for that particular season. You do that one time. But when it starts to grow, it starts to just continue to grow, sprout. So as you picking that okra, new flowers will come. New flowers will come. I love the idea of the okra because with this particular seed that you plant, this particular fruit, it continues to grow as you harvest them, right? And so that's a beautiful analogy because again, you pull them and then it keeps growing that entire season, right? That entire season.
From that 1 or 3 seeds, whichever one taking the ground, right? It keeps on producing.
But you don't have to keep doing these seeds all over again within that season. That's it.
It's that one time.
Right. Until that next season comes around again, which we're going to get into that.
Right. Absolutely, family. Deep. So, again, the question is not how much word we receive, right? Because we all receive the word. But what we produce with that word that we receive, right? What are we going to produce with the word that we receive? Are we just going to keep this to ourselves?
Right. You know what, too? I'm looking at it, the meanings. We said seed from the word. Yahushua have defined it as meaning the word, right? And then for the harvest, we determined that was gathering, right? Gathering unto Yah, you know, other people unto Yah. So when you put it together, I'm talking about the title, when it says he gave you the seed, where's the harvest? I put those meanings in there. He gave you the word. Where is the gathering?
It's just about me, Brother Rasha. We're gonna Scripture's gonna lay it out. Is it just about us, right, family? Because like you said, every believer, we receive the word, right, family? But with that seed comes responsibility. we have influence for family once we receive that word, right?
Right.
We're not supposed to just keep that to ourselves.
Right.
Whether we like it or not, family, we are influencing others,
Yes.
family. Especially if we
Yes.
say we know Yah
Absolutely.
and we love Yah. We are influencing others, family.
Absolutely, and we definitely should be influencing him in a positive way.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to blaspheme in his name and put in, put him to shame, by saying we believe in him, but our actions show otherwise, right? And so, and remember too, influence, which we're going to talk about, that can be in anything.
Yes.
In multiple ways we can do that. Everybody is not called to do the same thing. Everybody's not called to be teachers or minister the word, but you can still be a teacher in your own way,
right?
By your life, right? By the things you encourage in other people, that you promote or that you speak to other people. If you speak in life to them, right, or some type of wisdom, right?
Exactly.
So just want to say that.
Absolutely. So kind of let's go into it because again, Yah gives that seed with expectation, right? Let's look at what Yahushua laid out in Matthew chapter 13, verse 23. And we had kind of read this a couple of weeks back, but we diving deeper today, family. Matthew chapter 13, verse 23. You want to read that?
It says, but he who receives seed on the good ground is he who hears the word and understands it.
Y'all hear that, family? He who receives the word and understands. I mean, you know what you receive.
Right. Right. So that's deep, because when it says receive the seed, now we know what he was talking about. Those who receive the word on good ground. He what it says on good ground is he who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and produces some 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Yes, absolutely. So man, we supposed to bear fruit with this word. We supposed to produce some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. You mean y'all's expecting that out of us? That's the family.
We have responsibility as believers. They did in the scriptures.
Yes, absolutely. And the context of this before this verse, he was talking about the different soil that the seed fell upon, right? Or some they didn't last because it fell on thorny ground, and the rocks, the troubles of this world choked the word out of their heart, right? But those, because this is what I love about our assembly. We have a lot of brothers and sisters who's been in this walk for a long time, right? So this can apply mostly to us, not mainly, but mostly, because a lot of new believers, sometimes it's sad, family, but we've seen it being in the truth for over 15 years. Some people are not going to last, family. The cares of the world is going to choke the word out of their heart. You mean I got to change?
Yes.
I got to stop celebrating these holidays. I got to not associate with my family as much, all this stuff. And for some people, right, for some people, that's just too much.
Right.
I can't do that. Right. So I just go back and go back to my old life. Just like how they did with Yahushua, right? When they heard the good news, they turned around and like,
It was too much.
It's too much.
And that's really what they were saying.
Yes.
Really. It's not that it was so hard for them to understand. They was like that in their mind because their hearts were still attached to the world, right? That's what was going on. And so a lot of that still happens today because we know there's nothing new under the sun. And so a lot of times, people come in and and really it's a fad. It's like a fad to them, right? But when the hype goes down and then they start seeing what comes with this life, the persecution, the warfare, the things that actually comes with really living for Yah, because we know the enemy hates all that is righteous. So it makes perfect sense that his children would be going through persecution, right? Through the fire, right? Through tribulations and trials. It makes perfect sense. But many, if their hearts are still attached to that world, or when they see their families not receiving them, certain people not receiving them, they'll walk away.
Absolutely.
Sad,
but true. And I'll kind of tweak what I just said when I say this is mainly for the seasoned believers, but it's for the seasoned believers and for the new believers, because like what you was just saying, a lot of people, they receive the word when they come in new into this walk. We all been there, right? And they are on fire. But once they start realizing that, hey, man, all this stuff is required, they kind of start pushing back. But we saying in this message, family, you can learn how to be tactful with how to let your light shine before men, right? Because We used to say this a lot in our earlier teachings, that you can't flood people with a fire hose with the truth.
Right.
You have to drip feed them a little bit at a time. If you flood them with all the truth all at once, you're going to run them away.
Oh, yes.
They're not going to want to hear what you're saying.
Absolutely.
So that's why you have to be tactful, and that's how, what you said earlier at the beginning of this message, there's different ways to do this. There's not one way.
Yes.
You don't have to be a teacher. You can be an example.
An example.
In whatever you're doing on your job or with your family, right?
Anywhere
in your own
you go,
household, right?
When you're interacting with
Exactly.
people that know you, when they see you, when they interact with you, how are they receiving you? You know, like, how are you showing up? That's what I wanted to say.
You used to say this all the time. We may be the only what?
Yah that people see. And all I'm saying is we know Yah is in us.
Yes.
And some people don't know him. So being able to see that they have people that really operate in his love like that really operate in his spirit like that, might cause them to want to know more about him, right?
Yes.
So it can also be in what we are modeling, how we are influencing those who we come into contact with, right? So that is very, very important.
Absolutely. So what Yahushua is saying, family, he's saying good ground, being that good soil, that's not just about hearing, right? That's about producing. We have to produce something, family. Saying that healthy soil proves itself what? Through a harvest. We have to harvest, family. That's what we have to realize, that we have to produce a harvest. Y'all let that sink in, family. We have to produce a harvest. And going back to what you just said, how we produce that harvest? By our influence, family.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not, we are influencing people with our lives.
Right.
Mind the smallest things. I don't care what you think it is. I ain't influencing nobody. I don't have nobody to influence. Whether you're on job, whether you're at school, somebody is watching.
Yes. You best believe it.
You best believe it, family. And guess what? Your obedience is going to do what? It's going to strengthen others.
Yes.
Or it's going to weaken them.
Yes.
It's going to do one or two things, family. It's going to strengthen them, or it's going to weaken them by what you do.
Yes.
Whether you compromise or whether you be obedient. We just came out the holiday season, right? We always give this warning during the holidays that these jobs, these people that give these Christmas parties and all that, the job, they want you to come to see what? Are you going to compromise? So they can make a mockery of you, family.
Yes.
That's why they want to.
Yes,
that's what it's all about. Exactly. Exactly, family. They want to make a mockery out of it, and that's just the enemy, family. That is just the enemy. So let's look at this story, because this is when I read this story, I'm like, wow. It goes to show how important our influence is, family. That whether we like it or not, people are always watching. Yes. And the sooner we realize it, the better.
Yes.
Family. Let's read that. We're going to go into Second Maccabees, and if you have that 54 book Apocrypha, it's in there. If not, I'm going to put the link where you all could follow online, family, because we know it's not in our normal Bibles, right? It's normally in the Apocrypha books. So we're going to read from Second Maccabees chapter 6, starting at verse 18. You want to read that for me?
It says a certain
Eleazar,
one of the leading scribes, elderly in age and with a most dignified outward appearance, was being compelled to open his mouth and eat pork.
Wow.
But preferring death with honor to life with religious defilement, he proceeded voluntarily to the torture instrument.
So let's put this in context. This is the time when the Romans, they was over Jerusalem, right? And they had their different governors, their different people in charge, right? And they was defiling the temple, all these things. They was making them, trying to get them to eat pork, forget about the Sabbath, just defile the laws of Yah. And some of them was doing it. We're going to see what he did. So that's the context of it. It's like, if you don't do this, we're going to torture you.
So spitting out the meat, in this, he showed how everyone ought to stand fast.
Hear that, family?
I'm gonna repeat that. Spitting out the meat, in this, he showed how everyone ought to stand fast and reject what isn't lawful to taste, despite the intense desire to live. Oh my goodness.
Y'all hear that, family? He's
Got the
like,
principle.
people are watching this.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
like, I got influence. He said that he was one of the leading scribes, so people held him in high respect. And you see how that enemy work, how that devil work, family? They targeted him because they know he got influence. So if he do it, the others gonna do it.
Yes.
The enemy knew exactly what he was doing, family.
You know how they say go to the head
Yes,
and the rest of the body will fall?
Exactly. So now you think about it in families, right? That's why the enemy always attacking the men.
The head
go after
first.
them. Yes, go after the head. The rest gonna follow.
Absolutely.
Verse 21.
Verse 21. But those in charge of the unlawful sacrifice, because they had known the man for a long time, took him aside in private and urged him to bring meat that was lawful, prepared beforehand by himself, and then pretend to eat the meat from the sacrifice that the king commanded.
Y'all hear that, family? So they like, listen, we know you don't want to defile yourself. We know you don't want to eat this pork. I tell you what, bring your own meat, but we going to act like it's pork. Only you going to know what's going on. Everybody going to think that you eating the pork. You don't really have to defile yourself. Just show them that you're eating the pork. Just pretend. Let's see if he going to follow through.
By doing this, he might escape death and attain friendly treatment because of his old friendship with them.
We old buddies. We friends, man. Just do that for us.
His friends are right. Look what they're doing to him, right? But adopting a dignified treatment because of his but adopting a dignified perspective worthy of his seniority, his distinguished old age, and the gray hair he had acquired, and worthy of his excellence conduct from childhood, and moreover worthy of the holy and Elohim created laws, he declared to them to send him to the grave.
So he's like, listen, I done walked upright my whole life.
Oh, I'm sorry. Woo! I get excited.
I done walked upright my whole life since a child. And now I got gray hairs on my head.
Goodness.
Y'all want me to defile myself? He like, I'm not about to play with y'all. I'm not about to play with y'all.
Right.
Tell you what, y'all take me to the grave. You know that sound like those three Hebrew boys, right?
Right.
When they was like, listen, Nebuchadnezzar, you ain't even got to play around.
Right.
We not bowing down to your
Throw
idol.
us in the furnace.
Throw us in the furnace right now. We ain't nothing to talk about.
We ready to die for this. If you didn't know, now you know.
Yes. And you think about it, a lot of people, especially, and again, fam, that's what the enemy used. The enemy gonna use fear. He gonna use death to try to get us to compromise. And this is exactly what they was trying to do with Eleazar. But Eleazar was like, guess what? Y'all send me to the grave right now.
Yes. And matter of fact, because I didn't see that part on the next page, he actually said, he declared to them to send him to the grave immediately. Not just send him to the grave. Immediately.
Now. We don't have to wait.
You don't have to wait. I'm ready to go now. Oh my goodness. It's not worthy of our old age to act out such a role.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
You see, it's not even worthy of old age. Y'all not. You say I'm too old for this.
I'm too old for all this.
You say y'all got the wrong old man.
Y'all got the wrong one. Otherwise, many of the young.
Y'all listen to this, family.
Many of the young would assume wrongly that Eleazar, the 90-year-old, had changed to a foreign way of life.
That Eleazar, he compromised. He changed.
He was concerned about that. Do y'all hear that?
Y'all hear that, family?
He
worried about that harvest that he produced.
Right, right. All this time I've been showing I was living up right to y'all.
I was following y'all. I said I received the seed, right?
Right.
But to save myself,
I received the seed.
To save myself, I'm not forget about the seed because it's about me now. Like
this is bigger than me.
Yes.
I don't know if you all seen that we did a message before in the past. Those who've been with us for a while, and it was called "Standing in the Gap."
Right.
And this is what this reminds me of. Well, somebody has to stand in the gap and say, "No way! It stops with me. It's not gonna. It's not gonna start here. It stops here." But it says, "Well, no. I guess you say it starts here."
Start and stop.
That
there.
right.
Right, because he set an example. He said,
Right.
"It's stopping with me."
Right. So it says if I acted out this charade for the sake of living a moment longer,
now listen to this, family.
I would mislead them, and I would be defiled and dishonored in my old age. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. Even if I escaped the punishment of human beings for the moment, I would certainly not escape the hands of the Almighty.
He knows who's in control. He's like, what's the scripture say when it say, "Don't fear the man who can
kill the body, but fear the one who can kill the body and send the soul to heaven or hell."
Like Eleazar knew that.
What
He's like,
I'm
not right. He's like, I'm not fearing man. He said, I'm worried about Yah. He's like, how Yah gonna see this?
Right. And it says, he said, I would certainly not escape the hands of the Almighty, whether alive or dead. So I give up my life courageously. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful story. I give up my life courageously now to show myself worthy of my old age. And to leave, y'all just hear this. And to leave a fine example for the young people of how to die a good death with eagerness and dignity for the revered and sacred laws. Y'all, this gives me chills. This gives me chills reading. Oh, this is so powerful.
This is deep, family.
Oh, heartfelt and powerful. He said after he spoke, he immediately approached the torture instrument. He went to the torture instrument, y'all. Those who had shown goodwill toward him earlier now felt hostility toward him.
His friends, right?
Oh my goodness!
Because turn on him just like that.
Because the words he had spoken seemed insane to them, of course.
Yep.
Because their faith was different. They didn't have the level of faith he had. Matter of fact, they had none.
Exactly.
Not for them to respond that way. Instead of encouraging him and saying, "Okay, we respect that. This is honorable."
Yep.
They responded in that way, towards him.
Going against us.
So they didn't have any faith at all. And you know why too? Just like how that happens with man, if you really think about it. Whenever you have a light shining and the other person may not, how they will and try to inflict their insecurities or their wickedness on you, right? Because they feel in some kind of way because you have a light about you, right? That's how it goes. But this is what this reminds me of here. He had a light. He was really walking it out, and they weren't.
Exactly.
And this right here revealed it.
Yep.
And then it says, when his life was about the end, from the beating, he groaned while it even beat him. It is clear to Yahuwah with his sacred knowledge that although I could have been saved from death, I endure in my body harsh pain from this beating. Yet in my soul, I cheerfully suffer these things because I respect him. Oh,
it's all about Yah.
He said, I respect him.
All about Yah, family.
Oh my goodness. In this manner he died, and his own death left behind a most noble and honorable, memorable example of virtue.
Wow.
Of virtue, not only for the youth, but also for the majority of his nation.
Fam, you talk about influence. You talk about harvesting. You talk about a harvest. You talking about a harvest, family.
My goodness.
Listen to Eleazar's story, family. How many people would say, you know what?
My goodness.
I'm going to just protect myself. It don't matter what everybody else think about it. Guess what? As long as I'm still alive.
I'm just concerned about me,
but
myself,
he knew, right? He knew how is this going to look. I lived all these years proclaiming Yah, talking about Yah, telling everybody else, walk upright. But when it came down to me, I'm going to protect myself. Forget about Yah. He's like,
Put him to shame,
yes,
right?
like they watching me. He's like, I'm going to show my nation, my people, especially the young people, how to walk this out.
He said, I'm going to die in an honorable way.
Yes.
This is so deep.
Yes.
Influence is very, very important.
Yes.
Influence is important, yes, because today we, I would say in the world, we don't see a lot of that.
Right.
We see And we talked about this before in the past. But we see so many situations where you see the elderly women and the elderly men trying to blend in with the young women and the young men, look like them, act like them. And it doesn't look good because a lot of these young girls, they need role models. Remember back then when we had role models? I'm talking about way back in the day. We had role models, how the world was different.
Oh, yes.
The world was more calm. We had more accountability. It was different. Now, the young women don't respect a lot of the older women because the older women try to get down to their level.
Right.
And act like they're their peers.
Right.
Instead of their elders.
Right.
Right?
When we was
And
coming
that's
up, I
men
remember
too.
that. Right. I remember like the older ones trying to be peers with the
no.
young ones.
No, me neither.
Like you had to stay in your place when you was a child, man. Y'all know that when y'all was coming up. You had to stay in your place. Guess what? Y'all go outside.
Right.
So we not don't
That
even get in our conversation. Right.
Like you said, I don't we couldn't even be in the conversations. And you know what? Like you said, because I'm thinking about it, back then, no. That wasn't, you can't even think of that. And if you did, which I have not, somebody may have, I can bet you it was just, I mean, they stood out like a sore thumb.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't normal. If you seen it, it was like, oh my goodness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't common.
Right.
Now it's common.
It's very common. And you think about it too, like right now, the youngsters, they'll challenge the elderly, right? When we was coming up, especially in the 70s, the 80s, whatever, people that grew up in the 60s, even in the 90s, you didn't even think twice about challenging no adult.
Oh, no. What?
You didn't even think about doing nothing like that. You already knew that the neighbor could whip you.
Not just
we talk about that all the time. When we went to school, middle school, the teachers could have whipped us.
Oh,
the principal could have paddled us, right? Our parents didn't say nothing. Guess what? What happened at school stayed in school because we didn't want to get back home.
We didn't go tell our parents.
Oh, they whipped me. Nah, they tell the child go home and say that the parents, the school whip them or the principal whip them. Man, they going to set their school ablaze.
What? But back then, we had better not go tell our parents that the teacher whipped us because they was going to whip us
There
too.
you go. We was going to get another
What
whipping.
you was doing. They already knew we was getting into into something we had no business getting into. So back then, we already know we had the paddles. I'm sure many of you gotten paddled. We hit on the hand with the rulers.
Exactly.
I mentioned that before. The big fat. I don't know if you guys remember those big fat pencils that you couldn't put inside of the pencil sharpener. My teacher used to make us stick out our hands, and she would hit us on the knuckles with it.
Wow.
And that thing was painful. Made me cry a few times.
I remember those big pencils.
What?
Like 2 fingers thick.
Yes, you couldn't put it in the pencil sharpener.
Right.
She would say, "Put out your hands." Put it out, scared, shaking. Right. And she would just come. My goodness. She didn't do that too many times with me.
Right.
Because I was done.
Yeah, you learned.
That worked.
That worked, family. You knew. I don't want no spanking. I don't want my knuckles hit.
Right. I don't want to get paddled. Right. We dealt with that back in the day.
Yes.
But today,
you can't do nothing to them kids. I was shocked when I heard, this was years ago, when I heard that the kids, when we was coming up, we used to get suspended. That's how our parents knew we did some bad stuff.
Right.
Why you not going to school today? I was suspended. Oh, no. What you done did? Probably would whip us.
It was on.
Right, it was on. But nah, it was years ago. I heard they don't even suspend the kids no more. They got like they call in-school suspension.
Right.
But they still want to school. Right. They still going to, right.
Probably go sit down in
a different classroom.
Right.
So I was like, wow.
We don't know because it's been so long since we've been out of the public school system, But it has changed.
But I thought about Eleazar's story, family. Again, the enemy and his tactics have not changed, family. Look what he used. He used fear. He used loving his life, right? That's what he used for us. I think about a couple of years ago, right? When the pandemic happened. That's how they got a lot of people.
Yes. Still attached to this world.
Yes. You better take this or you can't work. I remember when I was on the job, they was trying to say, "Oh, you gonna take the jab?" I was like, "Guess what? Y'all gonna have to fire me."
And Brother Rashad was on that job for a long time, over 20 years. And he was willing to be fired.
I let him know up front, y'all gonna have to fire me. Don't even look this way. Don't even look this way. But how many people, what was I saying earlier? The enemy, he used fear to what? When that happened, right? Splitting up families.
Yes. Yes.
People didn't even want to. So they've been family their whole life.
Yes.
Now, because you didn't get this.
Yep.
You evil.
Yes.
And now you can't
talking
come around
about
no
each
more.
other.
Yes.
Oh, they evil. They being selfish. Don't want you to go around. Scared to hug you. So people can't even show love. Everybody's scared to go around each other and hug one another and all of this. It was just a lot.
And you know what's sad? And we heard the stories. I'm sure y'all heard the stories too, family. How many people got sick and died when they took that?
We heard about so many
was
stories
healthy.
Right here in Louisiana.
Yes.
Just dropped dead.
That one person we talked to right here in our town, they said their mama went take it. Went laid down to go to sleep. Mama was healthy.
Nothing was wrong.
Nothing was wrong with her. Laid down to go to sleep. Didn't wake back up. Same day. I was like, whoa.
So we heard, I'm sure some of you heard some stories too.
Yes.
But, that's why it's important that we trust in Yahuwah. And just like with this man, it's, what he was saying right here too. Knowing who we pledge our allegiance to, which is Yahuwah. And these times, because we never know what we may be faced with someday. I pray that we can escape the times that's going to come upon the earth to test the earth. But we just have to be careful and be able to be prepared for if a time ever comes where it's going to be a time where if we do it, we can be dishonoring Yah. Well, we are willing to say, you know what? I'm not attached to this world like that. I'm not attached. I'm just going to trust Yah through the process. I'm not attached.
Absolutely.
Let Yah's will be done.
Let His will be done.
And we got to pray for that strength.
The world is not our home. Exactly.
And thinking too of this while we're talking, you all, I'm thinking about influence. Our influence is important.
Yes. Because
as we talking about this, I think back to, and I shared this story before, but we always got new people coming in. Repetition is the mother of skill. But I think I don't remember we got so many videos, but I had a principal, and I often bring her up because she was such a major influence in my life. And I'm gonna just say she was a major influence. I ain't gonna go there. I was going somewhere. But when I was in high school, that was my earlier years in high school. But many of us was influenced by the culture.
Yes.
Many of the young girls and the young guys were influenced by the culture, and I was one of them who was influenced by the culture. You would look on the videos, you would look on TV, you would see how these girls would dress, and so you want to mimic it. You want to do that, right? So I did that in my youth, right? And then when I got to high school, I was, finally toning it down because I'm getting older, right? But I still, sometimes I would wear my dresses at school. And sometimes, in my mind, I'm feeling my dresses are okay.
Right.
But my principal, oh my goodness, you all, she was like, what Paul talked about, that little thorn that won't leave you alone in your side. That's how she was with me. Every time she would see me, she'd be like, where you going? Where you going with that dress? And I'm like, what you mean?
Nothing wrong with
and she would say, come here. She would literally have a ruler. You all, I kid you not. And she would put it out. Sometimes she'd be walking with it. And she would put it up to my skirt because it was a certain,
by
my knees. And so it had to be a certain amount of inches. I don't remember how much.
Probably like 2 inches.
I don't remember, probably. But
that's what it was back in the day.
But she used to measure it. And if it wasn't that measurement, if it was shorter, go call home right now. So that was many times I had to walk home, and I would cry. I would call my mother sometime to come and get me to go change, or I would have to go home and I would be crying. I'd be like, why my principal keep picking on me? I'm thinking at that time, because I thought I was grown, and I'm thinking, why is she picking on me all the time? And I would just cry and say, it's just me. It's just me. It wasn't really just me. It's just in my mind. I'm thinking that. I'm like, what's wrong with her? But this particular principal, you all, she would dress so classy. The way, now that I look at it, the way she would dress, she was always fancy, nice hats, nice suits. She was the perfect model for the young girls at the school.
She was our background. She was African American.
Oh, right. I was the color. Right. our ethnicity, and she was a perfect example, you all. So when I would see her, but I didn't understand that my culture. I mean, I'm just not my culture, but my environment, like where I come from, and the young girls I would be around, the videos I'm watching on TV that's combating. I'm like, I don't know, that don't
That's old fashioned.
That's old, But now I understand.
She was setting the culture. She was being an influence.
So now that I look back, and a matter of fact, she was my motivation.
Right.
As I was going through high school. She wasn't a big, we know ultimately, you know. And I used to pray, believe it or not, since a young girl, because I always wanted to live an upright life. I just didn't know y'all like that. But she helped. She was one of the influencers that y'all used to help me to mature while I was in high school. Because I seen the maturity as I was in high school, and my attire started to change. So when I graduated, I was a whole different person. The type of clothes I was wearing was different. I didn't even feel comfortable if I was wearing something crazy.
Right.
You know? So I'm saying all of that to say influence matters.
Right. Absolutely. And that's deep, family. And I'm sure y'all probably have your own examples of people who influence. I mean, I got so many examples of myself where, I mean, and these things, I'm sure the teacher probably wouldn't even, not the teacher, but the principal, she wasn't even thinking about, I'm influencing this young girl. She was just, like I said, setting the standard, setting the culture of the school. This is how we're going to operate here. But these things, family, we are all setting an example. We are all being an influence, whether we like it or not, whether we notice it or not, family.
Right.
And that kind of reminds me of that story we heard about this guy. He was in the fraternity, right? How he was influenced. He had denounced the fraternity, right? But he was just sharing the story how he was a rapper too. He was influenced, talked about how he was influenced to rap.
Right.
He said he was listening. He was at a house one day. His cousin and I think his brother was there. They was listening to a rap album, and he said he was just listening. Now he's younger than them. He's just listening to how they talking about those rappers.
They don't even know he's listening.
They don't even know he's listening. He said, "Man, look how they talking about those rappers." He said, "I want them to talk about me like that." And he said that was his influence. I'm sure his brother and his cousin didn't even know, right? He wanted to be a rapper because how his brother and his cousin was talking about those rappers. He said, I want them to talk about me like that. And he said once he got into the rap magazines, he called his brother, he called his cousin. He said, you see, I'm in the magazine. And he's like, he wanted to hear how they would have praised him. And like, oh, y'all go get the magazine. He in it. Y'all check him out. We influencing people, family, whether we recognize it or not.
Right.
It's about what type of, how we going to influence them.
How do we want to
Eliezer, or we going to influence them down the ways of Bala. We're going to compromise.
Absolutely. We're
going to turn them to the ways of this world, family. So we got to think about that, family, too, and think about this. When I was saying turn them to the ways of this world. A lot of things we did back in the day. Think about like the tattoos, right? You see people now. When we was coming up, family, tattoos, that was like hitting. You didn't hardly see that. Now you see people with tattoos, all kind of different jobs. Tattoos are something associated with you in a game or something.
Back then we would put some little small tattoos if we put tattoos right.
Well, it could be
didn't want it to be too bold because we still had some type of sense like, I don't know if I want to go there.
Exactly.
Because that's not going to look right. We was thinking about the future. So, you know, a lot of... Now, you know what? I'm not putting anybody down who've gotten tattoos. Brother Rasha and I did when we were in our youth. So we can't... What can we do about that, right? Repent it. But some, too, who coming into the faith probably have all kind of tattoos and stuff like that.
Right.
But you still welcome in Yahushua. We all are the same way. So it's not no put down. But we are just talking about the state of mind of the world today. Now we see people that go to school and get professional jobs with full arm tattoos. I've seen nurses full arm tattoos with their nursing symbols and I mean the whole full arm. And you go to the doctor or you go in the hospital and you see these things and you're like, whoa, what has happened? Because now, you know, a lot of young girls, they want to be nurses too. They want to go to school to become nurses, you know. And so they looking at that and that's their influence, right? So, this is cool. I guess this is a nurse thing. Well, it's cool. So you see, that could impact the youth.
Yes.
A lot of people is not even thinking for the youth anymore.
Nope.
They're thinking for
Exactly.
themselves.
Exactly. Let's look at Mark 4:26. It says, this is Yahushua talking. It says, and he said, the kingdom of Yah is as if a man should scatter seed on the ground and should keep sleep by night and rise by day. Y'all listen to this, family. And the seed should sprout and grow. He himself does not know how. All you got to do is plant that seed. You don't know how, who you going to influence. What example you going to set.
Wow.
You just got to plant the seed.
Wow.
Think about that, family. It says, for the earth yields crop by itself. Yahuwah will do his work.
Whoa!
First the blade, then the head, and after that the full grain in the head. But when the grain ripens, immediately he puts it in the sickle because the harvest has come.
Oh, you know what this reminds me of when it says how the man waters.
Yes, that's Paul.
Yes, but Yah gives the increase.
Yes.
What?
Yes. One plants, one waters, but Yah gives the increase.
Oh my goodness.
This is gotta keep planting that seed, family. Being that example, family, because just like Eliezer, right? He was like, I'm not gonna be a stumbling block to my brothers and sisters. I'm not gonna be a stumbling block to the youth. Going back to the thing you was just saying, because somebody watching, family.
Yes.
Somebody
you
is
best believe
watching.
It. You best believe it, and do not go proclaiming Yah, and you're not living Yah. Don't put His name to shame.
Not
talking about, I learned this new knowledge.
Yes.
Yah is not focused on our knowledge.
Yes.
He wants our hearts.
Yes.
Now, if you continue to grow in that, then beautiful. But He wants our hearts first.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because it says knowledge ceases, right? It's going to pass away eventually, right?
Exactly. Yep.
He wants the heart first.
He wants the heart, family. That means what? I'm really living this. Just like Eliezer. You know his heart was in it because he's like, I'm willing to die for this.
Right.
I am willing to die for this.
Yes.
Because this word is in me. It's in my heart.
Right.
It's in my heart. I'm not just talking about this.
You can't take that away. It's in me.
He said, y'all looking.
We got to pray for that faith. We got to pray for that type of faith. Y'all give us strength.
Yes. And again, sometimes we know why it happens, family. Why we feel like we shouldn't do this. We have excuses. I can't talk about the truth because they're not going to receive it. Oh, they're going to look down on me. I'm going to get persecuted. Family, that ain't nothing but fear. That ain't nothing but fear, family. You know what that reminds me of? When Yahushua gave the parable of the talent, when he called the lazy servant, he called him wicked and lazy. The one that didn't multiply the talents, family. Because what? He was fearful. Let's read that, family. Matthew 25, starting at verse 24. Matthew 25, starting at verse 24, family. It says, then he who received the 1 talent came and said, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And I was afraid. I was fearful, and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. Verse 26. But his master answered unto him and said, you wicked and lazy servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown and gathered where I have not scattered seed. Family, his master called him wicked and lazy because he was fearful. And that's just what the enemy uses against us, family. Fear makes us unproductive. I'm going to just keep it to myself because they're not going to receive it. I'm going to be mocked. They mocked Eliezer.
And we're talking
they tried
about
to use fear against him to keep his life.
Right. And we're talking mainly about like trying to keep y'all hidden.
Right.
Because that's important. I mean, we can't. Not if we just think about it, you all. That's not even the good news. It's that we got to let our light shine before others, right?
Exactly.
Which I think we have that. Yeah, but
that's Matthew 5:16. It says, let your light shine before men.
That they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven.
Yes.
So really in our works, you all, is to glorify Yah. And you remember a lot of the messages we did in the past, about the brothers, the 12 patriarchs, it literally showed us the entire time how it has always been about glorifying Yah.
Yes.
Not us. Yah chose us so that we can glorify him.
Yes.
He didn't chose us because there was something special about us, because we don't deserve it.
Right.
He could have chose anybody in this world, because many of us were sinners, and we still, you know what I'm saying, we still striving to get to the perfection through Yahushua. So if you really think about it, you all, none of us deserve this.
Absolutely. And we can't forget that, family. Y'all really take note to what Sister Abby just said, because when you said that, I thought about how when our children was younger, they used to say this. It was like, man, out of all of the people in the world, y'all chose us to get this truth.
Right.
Y'all think about that, family. That's for every one of us. We could have still been in falsehood.
Yes. Being lied to, confused, under strong delusion.
Exactly. False doctrines.
Yes.
All
but
these things.
Chose us. And so our return to him should be our obedience, and our will to glorify him. And that's what the brother was doing. I forgot his name.
Issachar?
Well, no.
Oh, Eleazar.
Eleazar, right, you all. That's what he was doing. He was glorifying Yah through his life.
Yes.
He like, I'm going to die glorifying him.
Yes.
I'm not going to put him to shame. And so that's so important for if we could just take heed to that and come to that realization that our walk is for his glorification.
Yes.
It makes things easier, and it helps to shift the focus off of ourselves. And of course, because we have this carnal flesh, you know, with our fallen nature, that the flesh will always be trying to pull at us.
Yes.
You know, to stay comfortable or to do what that flesh want to do. But we got to war against that flesh.
Yes.
We have to be so intentional about letting Yah be glorified through our life, glorifying him, you know, through our lifestyles. We have to just be intentional about that, because that's what we here for, to be honest.
Right.
And I'm talking about believers, true believers, who's really walking this out.
Exactly. Because just like that wicked and lazy servant, family, that's what the enemy does. He wants us all to bury that seed in our heart.
Yes.
He wants us, don't step out. Don't say nothing. Don't rock the boat. I don't want you to represent y'all like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't
be no positive influence to people. Don't represent y'all like that. Don't speak. Be silent. When you could say something that's gonna be something righteous, right? Because guess what, family? Your silence is the same thing as agreement. If you being a part of something, or you hear it and you don't speak up.
I think we talked about that too, in standing in the gap. We would encourage you all, if you haven't seen it, to look at standing in the gap, because we also talked about that too. Like our silence also could have an impact, you know, some type of an impact.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Not
you gotta
saying
speak
enough.
up. Yes. Because guess what? A lot of times when we say if you don't set these boundaries, they're gonna keep crossing.
Right.
So that's a part of speaking up. Is setting the boundaries, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say
something. But I want to wait till you just finish. Go ahead. Just finish. I want to say this too, because this is important. I do understand too. I have to say this. That we all grow.
Yes.
At different times.
Right.
Different ways. And so it's understandable if you're new in the walk, or if you're trying to figure it out and you're still growing in Yah, and you want to make sure that as I'm growing, that I don't dishonor him.
Right.
That what I do, it is a reflection of him. It is me glorifying him through my life.
Right.
But it's having that desire in you to get there, to want to get there. That's the thing. Having that desire and striving towards that thing. And asking Yah to get you to that place, and telling him you want to get there, and he'll get you there.
Right.
But we're talking about like just being confounded, like just, you know, isolated and secluded to, and like I'm not, or being around people and acting like you just like them when you know you live in a totally different life. You're not representing Yah because you're ashamed, or you're afraid of what they're gonna say, what they're gonna think, being persecuted. So these things, you know, we have to address this. But we do understand if you new and you're still trying to figure it out, but that still shouldn't stop you from being a light.
Exactly.
From you, you know, it still shouldn't stop you from wanting to represent Yah in a upright way. Right? Any of us. So I just wanted to say that.
That's deep, family, because what can happen too with that, if we fearful and we don't want to step out, we don't want to represent Yah and all this stuff, we want to be silent, family, that can turn into a form of laziness. That can turn into a form of sluggardness. Not only physically, but spiritually.
Right.
I'm not gonna learn. I ain't gotta say nothing.
Right.
I'm gonna be lazy all the way around.
Right. I'm just not just speaking, your actions.
Exactly.
What you do.
Exactly.
How you living.
Right.
That's all connected.
That's all connected. What's one of your favorite scriptures? A little leaven.
Leaven's the whole lump.
lump.
So if you're struggling in this area, I can promise you that's
other areas.
Other ones gotta attach to that.
Yes.
You know, so it's also not just what you're saying, but what you're doing.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
I want to say that part.
So kind of let's look at that, because that's another tactic of the enemy. That sluggardness, that laziness, that's physically and spiritually, family.
Yeah.
Proverbs 24, chapter 24, starting at verse 30. It says, I went by the field of the lazy man, and by the vineyard of the man devoid of understanding. You remember when Yahuwah said, the man who understands, who hears the word and understands it?
Mm-hmm.
This one is saying the lazy man, he's devoid of the word and don't understand it. He's devoid of understanding. Wow. It says, and there it was, all overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles. Its stone wall was broken down. When I saw it, I considered it well. I looked on it and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. It's deep, family. That's what the enemy wants to do to each and every one of us, family. He wants us to be lazy.
Yes,
you're not going to produce no harvest.
No.
You got this word. Yep.
Keep this secret. And I'm read my Bible and stuff like, I know y'all.
But I'm not going to influence no others. It's just about me.
Yep. You all, this right here is a principle.
Yes.
Life is spiritual. When we read in these scriptures, we got to look at these scriptures with spiritual eyes. We reading situations, right? We're reading parables, we're reading stories. When we hear these things, you got to say, what is the meaning behind this? Because this right here could apply to spiritual things, multiple things, multiple areas in our lives. Because it said, I went by the field of the lazy man. Well, somebody lazy, that means they don't like to work, right?
They're not producing.
They're not producing.
They're not producing, family.
Right. They're not, they're just not doing anything. And it says, and by the vineyard of the man devoid of understanding. It says devoid of understanding.
But I got this truth. No, you're devoid of understanding. If we got the word, we supposed to be producing.
Yes.
We supposed to be producing.
Or striving to, right?
Yes.
And it says, and there it was, all overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles. Its stone wall was broken down. Listen to all of this going on. Because they said he's a lazy man.
Yes.
When I saw it, I considered it well. I looked on it and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber. Y'all hear that? A little sleep, a little slumber. A little folding of the hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler. Remember what we said about poverty last week, if you could remember. Poverty, because some people, when they hear poverty, they automatically connect it to money. But poverty is a mentality. Poverty is a lack mentality, you all. So when you hear people talk about somebody have a poverty mindset, that's a lack mentality.
Right.
And that could be in everything, because poverty is something that spews over into different areas, not just money. Right? Lack could be anything.
Right.
Like when you have that mentality of lack. So it says, so shall your poverty come like a prowler.
Right.
And your need like an armed man. Too much sleep is a trap for the enemy, you all.
I heard that, family. It says a trap for the enemy.
So even in this, no, that's something that I said, this part. Too much sleep is a trap for the enemy. But no, right. That's my verse. I want to make that clear. But when I was reading, that's what y'all gave me. Like how he's saying, like too much sleep. So really, sleep. If you think about it, you go and you really read the scriptures about too much sleeping.
Right.
That contributes to laziness. Right.
Y'all think about it, family.
So
it's deep.
Everything is connecting spiritually, right? Because then you can't produce.
Right.
Think about it. That's really what it's saying. If you're lazy and you're sleeping all the time, that's preventing you from producing.
Mm.
So this is all tying in together.
Mm-hmm.
This is important.
I want to read out.
Yes, it says, Ecclesiastes 10:18 says, through laziness the roof caves in. And in the hands of the idle, the house leaks.
Wow. So didn't y'all say we are a temple? The temple of the Holy Spirit. So that's, again, going back to the spiritual, right? If we being lazy, we not producing, guess what? The roof caves in.
Roof caves in.
The building falls apart.
Listen to that. And it says in the hands of the idle. Because remember now, laziness and idle goes together.
Was that word? It's not a scripture, but it sounds like a scripture. What it says, idleness is what? The devil's playground.
Right. Right, you all.
So we got to think about that,
family.
It
is true. Because it's literally telling us that. Right? When it's talking about how the poverty is going to come like a prowler.
Yes.
Who brings that? Who brings the poverty to us?
The enemy.
It's the enemy. Because who brings us into a lot of sleeping, right? To cause laziness, right? Because throughout his word, think about all of the patriarchs. Think about all of the believers. They were always working. They was always being fruitful. They were always doing something, you all. Even with the patriarchs.
Yes.
You all, they were helping their dad form.
Right.
Like okay. But come on, you know? So we have to just be careful and look at this through spiritual eyes. Because some of you might be like, well, I don't sleep a lot. Some of you may. But some of you may be like, I don't sleep a lot. But it's the principle.
Sleep. Right.
Yes, right. And idleness.
Yes.
If your mind is on other things, and I'm talking about outside of the things of Yah, you more focus on worldly things and other things outside of the things of Yah, instead of being more focused on the things of Yah. That's idleness too. Idleness is when you're focusing on things that does not benefit your soul. Exactly. That's idleness to Yah. If it's not nothing to benefit your soul and you are idle with the things of this world, you are what it says when we love this world, it's enmity with Yah.
Yes.
Right?
Deep, family. And again, that's another tactic of the enemy, because he'll make us say all kind of excuses. They're not going to receive me. All kind of fear tactics. I'm not going to be accepted. His truth is too hard. That's another tactic of the enemy. We all received it, right? It wasn't that hard. We received it.
Right.
Why are you going to stop somebody else from getting blessed?
Right.
But a lot of times we take on that mindset, as long as I got it, nobody else needs it.
Right.
That's the enemy, family. What's that? Proverbs 22:13 says, the lazy man says, there is a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets. That sounds like an excuse, huh? Wow. I don't have to do nothing. It's too
Wow, wait, you see that?
Proverbs 20,
that's in the scriptures.
22:13.
What?
There's a lion outside. I shall be slain in the streets. Making excuses. Ain't no lion out there.
Oh my
Stop being scared. What they used to say, be scared, say you scared.
Right. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Oh my, I didn't even know that was in the scriptures.
Yes. But family, it's commanded to us, family, that we have to bear fruit. We can't be like the lazy man, what you were saying. The enemy is putting these thoughts in our mind. We doing these things. We concerned about more things of this world. We're not producing fruit for the kingdom. What are we doing? Because it's commanded of us. Yahuwah told us, is John chapter 15, verse 8. It says, but this, my Father, by this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, family. We have to produce a harvest, family. Y'all hear that?
Wait.
My Father is glorified.
Didn't we just talking about that? When I said the purpose of our walk is for Yah to be glorified. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Proverbs 11:30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins soul is wise. Y'all hear that, family? Listen, Yahuwah told us in John 15:8, by this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. Proverbs 11:30. Sound like he repeating Proverbs 11:30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. That means we're supposed to bring in all kind of people. We're supposed to bear all kind of good fruit, right? Our harvest is supposed to be plenty. And he who wins souls is wise. But Brother Rashi, I'm not no teacher. Did we say you have to be a teacher to win souls?
Mm-mm.
You can win souls by your everyday life, your interactions with people, who you influencing. Didn't we just tell the example of the guy? His brothers having a regular conversation was influenced him to be a rapper. They ain't told, hey man, go be a rapper. No, he just heard how good they was talking about those rappers. So how about we talk good about Yah in front of people?
Right.
How about we glorify our Father
right.
in front of people? We don't know who is listening.
Right. And how about the principle that influenced me with my attire? To start changing things up for something positive, right? So that means we could be doing the same thing. Now we doing it for Yah.
Exactly. And the enemy, he knows this so well, fam. Just like we gave the example with the tattoos. I think about, especially in our community, going back to the 90s, right? How us as men in my community, how we were influenced, right? You was not a man unless you went to jail. You were not a man unless you listened to some gangster rap. This is how they define manhood for us. No other culture does that.
And
manhood defined to them is have a family, right? Fornicating, all these other things, right? All kind of wicked stuff. That's how manhood was defined in our culture. But these other cultures, you go get a family, get you a job, take care of your family, you're a man.
Right.
Not us. You got to go to jail. You ain't no man unless you've been in jail, unless you've been shot, unless you fornicated with all kind of women.
And I want to say for the women too. That's what they did with us. I mean, the little girls too. They still doing it till today.
Right. Oh.
Making you feel like that you a woman if you're doing things you have no business doing, fornicating as well.
And social media done amplified it. It done amplified it. All this stuff that we talking about. That we didn't even have access to all this stuff. Now all the children got access to it. So we gotta pray for the youth, fam. That's why it's so important. Like what Sister Abby was saying. We gotta be that influence, just like how Eleazar was, family.
The youth need us. I mean,
they need us.
Yes. The people in this world need us, even those who are lost.
Yes, even though they're doing like they're not listening. Yes. Family. Trust me, they listening, they watching.
Oh yeah. It's not all the time people receive the truth right away, because we shared this before. We have planted seeds before and then later start noticing now certain people are like, I don't do the holidays anymore. And then now they start saying, yeah. And we like, wait, what?
Where that's coming from now? These was Jesus, stone cold Jesus. They ain't never leaving Jesus. They saying, yeah. So we like, whoa.
So sometimes you may not even be the one that fully, like when they hear it, they fully take it in and run with it. But they may be introduced to somebody else that'll share it, but they will remember what they heard or learned from you. And that's going to amplify what they're learning. And that's going to help them. And they'll be like, man, I know you're not lying because I heard this before. Such and such, or this person I remember they used to talk like this or say this and this and that. And why are you saying the same thing?
One plants, one waters, Yah gives the increase. All you got to do is plant.
That's what we got to remember.
Yes.
If we remember that, we're going to be okay.
We're going to be okay.
It's just about you planting.
Yes.
Don't worry about the outcome. Plant the seeds and give it to Yah. Plant it, give it to Yah.
He gonna do the rest, family, because
if it be in his will.
Let's read that, because that's, again, we cannot be idle, family. And one of the examples, we just read this a couple of months back with Issachar. Powerful lesson. If you hadn't seen it, family, go back and watch it. Issachar, family, one of the brothers, right? We're gonna read chapter 1, starting at verse 24. You want to read that?
It says, when therefore I grew up, my children, I walked in uprightness of heart, and I became a husbandman for my father and my brethren.
Oh, a servant, pretty much a servant.
That's what that means, right?
Yep.
And I brought in fruits from the field according to their season. Y'all hear? According to their season.
So they mean that
whatever
the harvest
season
gonna come in its season.
Right.
All you got to do is plant the seed.
Right. But he was doing it, right? He was preparing for it in each season. And it says, and my father blessed me. Y'all hear that? And my father blessed me, for he saw that I walked in rectitude before him.
Yes.
And I was not a busybody.
Rectitude, that means upright, living righteous, right? Respect.
And I was not a busybody in my doings. nor envious and malicious against my neighbor.
Guess what? I wasn't all over the place.
So if he said I wasn't a busybody, look, I'm
focused.
about my Father's
Yes,
business.
yes,
I
yes.
was focused.
Mm-hmm.
I never slandered anyone,
Mm.
nor did I censor the life of any man.
Censor meaning criticize.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Walking as I did in singleness of eye.
Mm.
You remember when we talked about to have one? I think was it about the eyes? It probably wasn't about the eyes. When it's, one way and not two-faced.
Right,
It was two-faced one way. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
One face, two-faced. I'm
Right.
thinking about, but that's what it reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, it says, therefore, when I was 35 years old, I took to myself a wife,
Mm-hmm.
for my labor wore away my strength.
Right,
hear that?
I was a hard worker.
He was a hard
I
worker.
wasn't even worried about getting married.
No,
I was doing
I was
my work.
so busy.
Yes.
Focusing on my Father's
Mhm.
business. Father, you put me here for a reason, and
Yes.
I am doing the work.
Yes.
Whatever you put me here to do, I want to be in your will, yeah, I'm doing your will.
Yes.
And so he said, therefore, when I was 35 years old, I took to myself a wife, for my labor wore away my strength, and I never thought upon pleasure with women, but owing to my toil, sleep overcame me. How you described it when he said, but owing to my toil, sleep overcame
he was
me.
too tired. He was too
Right.
tired.
He was too tired to even be worried about it.
Right. I was working so much.
He was that busy.
I was that busy.
He was that busy.
I ain't had time to think about all this other stuff.
Right.
I'm so much focused on my Father's work. Mhm.
Absolutely. What we said just a while ago, how an idle mind can be the devil's playground. He was like, I'm not giving them no idle, no time for I'm not gonna be idle because I'm not giving them no time to make my mind idle. I'm focusing on so much. I got so much going on here that I don't have time to be playing with no devil.
Exactly.
And he said, and my father always rejoiced in my rectitude because I offered to the priest to Yahuwah all first fruits, then to my father also. And Yahuwah increased 10,000-fold his benefits in my hands. And also Jacob, my father, knew that Yah aided my singleness.
So he was saying I was so busy. That's why I was so blessed. I didn't give the enemy a foothold. I didn't give him no time. I was not lazy. I wasn't no sluggard. I was worried about this harvest.
And he had a blessed life, you all.
He had a blessed life. And if you read down to another, y'all go back and watch that lesson if y'all hadn't seen it. But he talked about, because that goes back to making comparisons. He talked about how Levi was given the priesthood, Judah was given the kingship. He said, I ain't had none of that. But guess what? I was still focused on my Father's business. With what was given to me, that talent that was given to me,
deep.
I made the most of it.
That's deep.
Because some people, they don't look at it, Lord, they got more than me. He got more of an influence than me. Why I don't have the priesthood? Why I don't have the kingship?
What about Issachar? Issachar didn't have none of that.
He didn't have none of that. And look,
but he had the fear of Yah.
And he was blessed how many times, family? 10,000-fold.
He was being busy doing the will of Yah, operating in the will of Yah, letting Yah be glorified through his life, through obedience, right?
Yes.
So you see even an example in Issachar. He wasn't teaching.
Wasn't teaching. Doing work. Look how he was blessed.
Right. Like you say, he didn't have all of these high positions like some of his brothers.
Right.
But look at his life.
Yes.
Right?
And guess what? He was blessing everybody. Blessing the poor, blessing his brothers.
You read the story.
He was a blessing to his family. To his father.
He was a blessing to many people.
Sound like he was a walking Torah.
Yes.
He was walking it out. He was just like Eliezer. Like, I'm about this.
Right. I'm not playing.
I got singleness of focus.
He was not playing with it.
Yes.
And that's how we got to be intentional about our walk, which we said it before in the past.
Yes.
And be about our Father's business.
Yes.
And also making sure that we don't give opportunity to the enemy because we have an idleness of mind, right?
Right.
Or giving in too much to sleep. Like all of these things connect as we read. The idleness of mind, sleep, laziness, and poverty. And poverty, again, you all, is like mentality,
mindset.
a like
Mhm.
mindset. And this is what all of this leads to. So
Yes.
we always want to remain productive.
Exactly.
You know, productive and looking for ways, looking for
Right.
opportunities to be a light
Right.
in the midst of a dark world, because they
Exactly.
need us. They need our lights. They need
us
y'all's
even
light
more,
to be
family.
shining. You know,
Yes.
for us to show y'all's light shining through us. They need to see that.
Yes.
Because
it's getting darker and darker
yes.
and more wicked, family.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. So, family, we kind of just got to ask these questions, because this is one of the purposes why we gave this lesson, family. We got to ask, what is growing from my life, right? I got the seed. What am I producing? What am I producing, family? Who is stronger because of my walk with Yah? Who is stronger because of my walk with... Oh, I'm just strong. I ain't got to worry about nobody else. We've received so many messages from brothers and sisters who say they are influencing their family. And their family is full-blown Christians, but they talking to them, they being tactful. Going back to what we said at the beginning of this message, right, family? You have to just be tactful. We say this all the time when witnessing to others. Start with what you agree upon. Hey, you read the Bible, you know about the Bible. Let's you go verse by verse. They said don't worship idols. Why the church got these statues in there? That's wrong. The scriptures say that. I mean, you can start there, break that down, and then you just keep building on that. But you just have to be tactful, family. That's how you produce that harvest, right? That's how you make others stronger. Just pointing out the inconsistencies, pointing out the false doctrine, right? Am I scattering seed, or am I storing the seed? Am I just keeping this to myself? We read the scriptures where it said, you honor my Father by producing fruit. This is how my Father is glorified. This is what Yahuwah told us, family. This is how we do it. And with my life, am I encouraging compromise, or am I encouraging conviction? Just like our brother Eleazar. He could have easily compromised and said, you know what? It's about me. I want my life. I got it good. I'm respected amongst these people, amongst these heathens. So I want to keep my title. He's like, I'm not compromising. They're going to see that I'm not compromising. They're going to see that Eleazar went out representing Yahuwah. He loved Yah, and we got to do the same thing. That's what we got to do, family.
Absolutely.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So, family, that was our lesson. We pray that it was edifying. We got to come with this message to encourage our brothers and sisters, family, to say, listen, we have to really walk this out. We are an influence, no matter if we think so or we don't.
Right.
We are influencing others, and it really begins with our circle.
Yes.
The people that's closest to us. The moms, the dads, y'all children, y'all influencing them. Husbands, y'all influencing your wives. Wives, y'all influencing the husbands.
Start in the home first and then let it go out, right?
Grandmas, grandpas, y'all are influencing your grandchildren. You get a lot of messages too about older parents that have older adult kids. Y'all can influence them too, even though they doing like they don't want to listen. They still listening. Trust me. Y'all just got it.
By your change,
by your life,
in your life,
how you walking it.
Right. Showing them how Yah has changed you, and let Yah do the rest.
Yes.
Just be an example.
Yes. Because guess what the enemy gonna do? He gonna try to make you act out in the flesh. And that's what they're going to say. They never changed. They're doing how they used to do.
They want to see you act in the flesh. Because if you acting in the flesh just like them, they're going to look at you and they're not going to take you serious. They're not going to take what you stand for serious. Because you know what they're going to say? They snap just like me.
Yep.
They act just like me. So,
I gotta change.
People don't listen. They're not going to listen to somebody that act just like them.
Yes.
We have to be that model.
Yes.
We have to be an influence.
An influence,
this is
family.
What we've been talking about.
Influence. So, family, we pray that this message was edifying. We pray. We're thankful for our moderators who dropped the scriptures in the chat, family. Thank you to all those who bless the ministry, family. May Yah continue to bless you all 10,000-fold, family.
Absolutely.
May Yah bless you and your household. So family, if we don't talk to you all during the week, we pray that you all enjoy the rest of your week. And if we don't talk to you, we're going to talk to you next Shabbat, family. Yah willing.
Right.
Family, we love y'all.
Love you all.
Shalom, family.
Later.